Good afternoon, folks, on this glorious day in the northwest. It's nice and sunny outside, so I thought before I venture off into the garden and get some chores done, I'll do a quick update video on my Imagi Nations project that I'm doing. Not done much game in the last couple of weeks, but I have managed to bash out a couple of units, and this is one of the units that I've managed to do. So it's going to be a Grenadier battalion. In one of my Imagi Nations armies. The advantages of the Grenadiers in the wargame rules are that they fire in groups of 4 instead of 6, and they get a +1 in melee as well. So you can't have too many Grenadier battalions in your army, obviously, because they're elite. So I'm going to start off with 1 per army, and if the armies start to grow in size, then I'll increase that. Being Imagi Nations, you can pretty much do whatever units or colours you want. So I've gone for almost a Prussian type blue colour, and I'm not quite sure what the flags were. I just liked the look of them. I think they might be even Swiss. Yeah, I think it was a Swiss flag. So there you go. That's the infantry battalion. 24 figures, 24. Line and 5 officers. And you can see there's the regimental commander there with 2 of these officers. I also managed to get some because I was short on command figures, so I've done a couple of brigadiers now for the brigades, so they'll have some commanders in charge of them. So that's 2 per side at the moment. One of my armies is predominantly in red, and the other one's a mixture of grey, light blue and dark blue. So obviously the 2 on the left will be for the army that's in red, and the other 2 for the other one. These I always say EBOB, I think it's EBO miniatures. I might even got that the wrong way around. So these are the metal castings, which paint up nice and mix well with the plastics. So as I've said before, all the infantry other than the officers are plastics, and they come as a body basically, and you can then add a different hat on. It's quite a static pose, but suits well for these rules. So that's the infantry and the brigadier. Yeah, the brigadier's done. So and then I also managed to get done another cavalry regiment. So this is for the opposing army as such, and base these, I suppose, looking more like the Austrians, but without the helmet. So they've got the breastplates front and back, and obviously the grey jackets, red cuffs, and I quite like the way these have come out. Let's see if I can zoom in as short as I can with this. Let's say it's a different phone. Yeah, they turned out okay. I actually prefer the way these have turned out to the other cavalry that I did. I don't know why, whether it's the upright saws I didn't like, whereas at the moment these ones have just got a pistol, or whether it's the front and back breastplates that make them stand out. I definitely, as classed as heavy cavalry in the rules, they look like heavy cavalry, where I suppose the other ones just look like normal cavalry without the breastplates on. So yeah, quite pleased with those. They turned out okay. Again, I went for all plastics, even the command figures, because budget's not massive. So the more I can do with plastic, the better. It's not that I prefer plastic. I would love all my figures to be metal, but when it comes to pricing, then obviously plastic is the way to go if you want to get a lot of troops done. So yes, they're not as good as metal figures. They're not as detailed. The paint the paint jobs don't stand out as well. Even obviously when I use the army painter dip, which does a lot of the work for you, doesn't do it all. Obviously, I know people say it's cheating and that, and yes, it does do quite a bit, and it helps. The disadvantage is sometimes you can get like a dirty look to it if it's too much. which I usually find when you're coming down about halfway through the tin, it starts to thicken up a little bit, and it does get, which is fine for things like World War II that I use it for. But when it's for figures like these, it can get to a little bit dirty, and you have to do a little bit more highlighting to get rid of it, which I did on these. So I'm probably due for another tin of Army Painter, or thin my original tin down if I can thin it down a little bit. But yeah, like I say, I do prefer metal figures. I'm not wholly for the plastic figures. It's just the fact that I think this box set of 12 figures, well obviously I've added 3 figures to it for the command, but I think 12 figures, it was something like £16 or something. I think I've mentioned it before in the video, which is a lot cheaper than what you're ever gonna get with metal figures. I know Old Glory do some great deals for if you join, is it like their membership or something, but I'm not sure if even they can beat £16 for 12 figures. Plus you get the option, obviously you can mix and match it with the infantry sets, and you can especially for the Imagi Nations, you can make up pretty much most units, because there's lots of different bodies with them, lots of different hats or heads, and the arms as well, because like I say, on these ones you see there the officer, he's got the sword very similar to the last cavalry unit. All the men, the troopers, just got the pistol held down, and I quite like that pose. So I will be getting a couple more cavalry units done. At the moment we've got, let's see, I think we've got 6 line battalions per army, 1 light battalion and 1 cavalry regiment. So maybe next on the list will be a light cavalry regiment each, and hopefully we'll do a battle report in the near future, showing you how the cavalry fare in the rules. So yeah, that's it. Just a quick update. So I'm going to go out there and enjoy the sunshine while I can. Get some chores done, and hopefully get some gaming done soon in the near future. Catch you later.